episode of Early Doors, our second episode of a brand new season. I'm Tom Deacon, and I'm of course joined by the legend of Southampton FC, Matt Latisse.
Absolute legend.
You're right, Matt?
Tom. I'm really good, thanks.
Good.
Yeah,
Now we've got a brilliant team with us. Am I forgetting anyone else to give a shout out to early
Tim
on?
Lovejoy.
Tim Lovejoy? Maybe it's not Tim Lovejoy or Helen Chamberlain. No, of course.
Oh.
There's only one person that it could possibly could be, and that's, of course, Rockets in the building.
Oh, what an intro. Thank you, lads. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Rocket, you all right?
I'm really well, mate. How are you?
It's fantastic.
Looking
it's really
very
good.
tanned, isn't he?
Very tanned and on
very
time.
healthy.
Fake.
The
And
two
on time,
T's,
yeah.
the two T's there, tanned
Nice to
and on
change.
time. Late to the first episode, but he's here, and that's all that matters. I'm really excited about today's episode, Matt, because we're joined by a fabulous guest. Can I first of all ask, how are you though, Matt?
I am really good, thank you, Tom. Yeah, very good indeed. I've had a lovely summer.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, a couple of trips away and very refreshed. And obviously, I was here at St Mary's for the first home game of the season, which couldn't have ended in more dramatic fashion.
It was spectacular. It was Hollywood. That's what it was. It
What
was
an
Hollywood.
atmosphere.
Was it
What an
really
atmosphere.
good? Some people...
It would have been Hollywood, but he wasn't here. Never turned up, did he? Wasn't here. I was waiting for me photo in the boardroom. He never turned up.
Did he not? Did he really? You were looking...
Not
for,
really.
No, okay, fair enough.
I've never watched Deadpool.
If you're not...
No.
Fact of the
No
day,
clue.
straight away in there. Deadpool 1 and 2. So if you wanted to catch up, it'll be at least a couple of 3 hours
Yeah.
maybe. No, listen, it's an exciting time for us. Exciting football calendar because it's at that moment now at the end of the transfer windows on the way. So maybe some
It is.
players are staying, going, what's happening with certain squad members. But I'm just curious from your point of view, Matt, you were a player that never, for anyone who doesn't know this, never moved from Southampton. Was there any other times that you were close to moving?
Yeah. I mean, when I was very young, I was 21, I think, when Spurs tried to buy me, and that went, quite close. They were the only club I ever spoke to, and even that was illegal because Southampton didn't know anything about it at the time.
Okay, fair enough. Heard it first. How did they do it? Just over the phone? Was it at lunch?
So my agent rang me and said, Spurs want to buy you at the end of the season. This is like February 1990, and he said, would you be interested? And I was like, blimey, that was the team I supported as a kid.
Yeah.
My dad still supports Spurs. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll be interested. And he went, all right, we're going to have a meeting next week. And I was like, oh, right, okay. So I went up to London, not realising this is completely illegal. I was a very naive young lad. And we agreed terms on a contract. The contract was put in front of me.
Nice contract.
It was all right.
Yeah, sure, cool.
But they said, if you sign it now and then we'll keep it up here, and then when the two clubs agree a fee, we'll just have the contract ready.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, okay. So again, signed the contract, illegal, still under contract at Southampton. Don't know what that was about. But I was due to be married at the end of that season, and a couple of weeks before the end of the season, my fiancée at the time decided that she didn't want to go live in London.
Wow.
So
that was the most important signature right there.
Yeah,
We're talking of signatures.
Yeah, that was the decision I had to make. Was I get married or go and join Spurs? That was basically the choice I was left with. Now, obviously, I got married,
best decision.
I mean, at the end of the day, that was my decision. I made that decision, and to this day, I don't have a single regret about making any of the decisions I made to stay at Saints. It's the best decisions I ever made. So I'm completely happy with it. Chelsea tried to buy me a few years later.
Yeah.
Actually, before that, Liverpool expressed an interest. My agent rang me. He said, Matt, I'll never forget the conversation. He went, one of the biggest clubs in European football want to sign you.
Yeah.
I was like, Real Madrid, Barcelona,
AC Milan.
and he went, Liverpool. I was like, it's freezing up there. I'm not going up there. No chance. I don't even speak the language.
Matt, didn't Fergie want to buy you?
No, well, I never had an official anything from my agent about Fergie, but I actually spoke to him here a few years ago in the boardroom at one of the Saints Man U games. And he said when Cantona left, he said his first option, he said he would have wanted to have got me. Brilliant. He said, and he asked two people around the club, what are the chances of me getting Matt Tissier? Both of them went, you got no chance. So he didn't even try.
Wow.
So that was interesting. But I still wouldn't have gone there either.
No. Let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks with transfers. But as for what is happening right now, as I sort of feel like a news reader there,
Yes.
we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll welcome today's special guest.
Yes.
Right, we are back. And as you've kindly pointed out to me, Matt, during the break, I didn't at one point mention who our special guest is today.
I thought you were just keeping it a secret from everyone.
Well, I think it's a nice thing to keep it a secret because people might still be guessing. He made a 1, 2, 3 appearances for Saints from 2002
nice.
to 2006. That sounds like the beginning of the worst kept secret for a PIN number ever. It's the one, get ready for this, and only Antti Niemi.
Legends, what a man.
Yes! Love it!
Love Antti.
Antti, welcome.
What a keeper.
Yeah,
What
what
a
a keeper.
keeper.
What a keeper.
Yeah.
He's always in my starting 11 unless I'm forced to by a previous guest on Early Doors to change that, and that was Paul Jones. But we'll get to him a little bit later on. Antti Niemi, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm fine, thank you. Nice to be with you. I'm doing well.
Good.
What are you up to these days, mate? You living back in Finland?
Yes, I've been living in Finland since I moved, stopped playing back in, I think it was 2008 or 9 or something like that.
Yep.
And I've been involved in football quite heavily. I was goalkeeping coach for Finnish national team for 14 years. That came to an end a few months ago because the FA hired a new staff, so that was time for me to move on. Great experience, made it to the European finals first time ever in Finnish football history. That was a great experience. And then I'm doing quite a lot of like Champions League TV commentating and that sort of stuff. So that's me nowadays.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Do you understand, Antti, how in such high regard you're remembered by many Southampton fans? Are you aware of that?
I guess so, and it feels a bit awkward because I was only there for 3.5 years or something like that. But then again, especially the first 2 seasons under Gordon Strachan, looking back the history of the club and so on, those couple of seasons they were quite successful. Like we did okay in the league and made it to the FA Cup final, and I personally had a great time over there. So it's nice to hear. It's always nice to hear that some people appreciate what you've done in your previous life, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, we are going to chat more about some of your best Saints memories soon, but we wanted to focus, first of all, on one particular moment. We're going to dive into this week's classic game from the vault, Matt, which includes Antti Niemi, and it's an incredible Premier League match against Arsenal from November 2002 that I think, Antti, you will remember very well.
Bergkamp. Wiltord. Bergkamp! Oh, wonderful strike! 1-0 to Arsenal. Lined up for Beattie. Oh, what a strike! David Seaman beaten all ends up by that. That was a rocket from Beattie. And here's Thierry Henry, lacking Bergkamp's support, but Vieira has got forward. It's Patrick Vieira! It's a good save from Niemi. Vieira again! Another good save, and another one! Vieira must be wondering what he has to do to beat this man. 3 attempts in quick succession from the Frenchman, and all of them repelled. This was the best and the clearest cut. Second one, an attempt at a header, but even when he was grounded, Niemi kept out the third effort from Vieira. Vieira got into the middle, important touch that by Svensson. Oakley. Beattie helps it on, Seagon takes it on but loses out. It's Agustin Delgado, and Campbell comes back with the challenge, and the referee gives a penalty. And there's a red card as well to compound it. Sol Campbell is sent off. Campbell left as the last man after Seagon had lost out to Delgado, Seaman who saved a penalty this season against West Ham. Beattie scores! Southampton lead! It's a double for James Beattie. Fernandes with a kick. Delgado followed into the far post. And has marked his first Premiership start with a goal. Seaman can only wonder how he was beaten by that. Pires, and again, yes! Still over 10 minutes left. Arsenal have suffered their third Premiership defeat of the season. Gordon Strachan, Southampton, have won an unlikely 3 points against the defending champion.
What a game, 3-2.
I was there that day.
You were there that day?
I was there watching that day, yeah.
Well, luckily, the man that we're chatting to was there for that triple save.
Oh.
We have to talk about it, Antti. It was just stunning. You didn't look very happy after you just made a triple save, though.
No, but that's Finnish nature. We don't really show if we're happy or sad, or that's how we look most of the time. And no, I was happy with it. But let's be honest, Patrick Vieira should have scored there 3 times. Like, really, I take the credit, no worries. But he really should have scored. Like, he hit me basically 3 times.
Yeah, it was poor finishing, basically.
Poor finishing. The first shot, though.
It was.
Okay. All right. I've just changed this on my card here, Antti. I'm going to put poor shooting from Patrick Vieira. So, but there were a couple of others. The Perez one, a fantastic save, but then scored for that second.
That must be frustrating as a goalkeeper when you make a great save like that, and then it just rebounds, and there's no defenders backing you up, and he just taps it into the net.
Yeah, it is the worst feeling. Like, obviously, when you make a mistake, that's a bad feeling as well. But like, it's more like frustration. Yeah. Because you know that, if somebody gave you a little bit of help, that would have counted as a great save, but it happens all the time.
Yeah, an incredible shot stopper. But talking about that 3-2 a little bit more, Matt, you were there.
I was.
Delgado scored.
I know, the Tin Man.
The Tin Man.
He also got the penalty as well. I mean, he didn't show great pace trying to run away from Sol Campbell there. But yeah, it was a bit of an enigma, shall we say. How did you find him on the training ground, Antti?
Yeah, he was good, and in that game he was really effective. I think, like you say, he got us a penalty, and then he scored as well from that. I think it was a corner on the back post, like when he chested it in or headed it in. So yeah, he was a good lad, good player. And
Beats was in good form around that time as well. What do you remember of Beats around that time?
As a player, goal scorer, he could score all sorts of goals. He held the ball up really well. He was like kind of like traditional number 9, so to speak. He was a big lad and nasty if you needed, full of confidence on and off the pitch. But I loved him. I thought he was a good team player, always being funny, but not irritating people. Like, he's just one of those guys that you need in a dressing room, and I love him. I wish him all the best.
Yeah, and who did have the best blonde highlights, in your opinion, Antti? Was it James?
Who had him first?
Who had him first, yeah.
Me, definitely,
Well, it worked. That's all that matters. I'm curious to know, because the centre-back partnership at the time was Lundekvam and Svensson. What was it like being in the sticks behind those two?
It worked well because Klaus was kind of like stylish. He was good on the ball. He was passing the ball, but he was good in the air as well. And Michael was more like the muscle. He wasn't he was tall, but he wasn't like the biggest, like a stereotype of like muscular centre half. But he was really good in the air, and his attitude was second to none. He would do anything to stop the goal, and just a pleasure to play with them. And obviously, being from Scandinavia, Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish connection, we clicked quite well off the pitch as well. We spent a lot of time together, and it was just a big shame that Michael got injured. We never really. I always said that if he stayed fit and he didn't have his knee problems, Southampton would not be his last club. I think he would have been capable of playing for Liverpool or clubs like that easily. He's a great. But I think the three of us, I wasn't the best at the crosses because I was pretty small as a goalkeeper. So those two knew it, and they cleared a lot of headers in front of me, so I could concentrate on my strength, which was probably the shot stopping. So just sometimes that happens in football, that things just work out. And now that we look back, like I said, over 20 years ago, it's easy to say that trio, that partnership, or whatever you want to call it, it was a match made in heaven. It worked really well for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, the Scandinavian triangle, they were calling it. No one called it that. No one called it that.
Just you.
Just me on that one. So would you like to...
I'm going to start with the first one. So, Antti, I know it's a long time ago, but do you remember what your best save was for the Saints? Is there one that sticks in your memory?
Thankfully, there was quite a few good ones. There were mistakes.
There was.
I don't know. One that sticks out maybe... I want to think about the games that we got a result from. Like if you lose and you make a save, it doesn't really count. But I think it was against Villa at St. Mary's. It was a free kick. I think it was Gareth Barry, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
That was a good one. I got top hand on it because sometimes the best looking saves are not the hardest to make. Like, I see the commentators on TV saying, "Oh, what a wonderful save." And I'm thinking, it looks good, but it's not really that difficult to make.
Yeah.
But that was one of those curly shots that you think when the ball is midway in the air, you think, I'm not going to get there. And then somehow you get a little touch and you save the goal and you think, whoa, I didn't see that coming. So maybe that one.
I've always been curious with goalkeepers, Antti, because, when you dive to your right-hand side, and you're talking about your top hand there, you don't dive with your right hand first. You're trying to save it with your left hand. Is that because there's some further reach that you can get with the left hand? Is that what the theory is?
Well, that depends on the height of the ball. Sometimes the lower hand is obviously the better one, but quite often with the high balls, like when they're going to top corner, so to speak, you can get that couple of more inches reach with your top hand. So.
Wow, small margins, fine margins. That's
fine margins.
That's what the best do.
But
small detail.
But I like the slight early doors going into goalkeeping coaching there.
That
was nice.
Well,
that was nice. I'll take that as well.
You like to go off piste sometimes.
No, I like it. There should be more of that. Antti, I'm curious to know. You mentioned him earlier, playing under Gordon Strachan. How easy was it for a Finnish-speaking person to come to Southampton and then suddenly have to be able to understand Scottish?
Nightmare.
Yeah.
He'd already been at Hearts. It was easy for him.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah. I played in Scotland for a couple of years. 5.5 years I spent in Scotland. I was already 30 when I came to Southampton, so quite a late age. So I got used to it, so it wasn't a problem. And I think Gordon as well, he probably didn't speak as thick Scottish accent that he could, because there was like a lot of foreigners and obviously English players. So it's kind of like a...
He'd been down in England for quite a few years as well, so he definitely mellowed the accent.
Yeah.
And did you ever get a shouting? He could be quite vocal, could Gordon Strachan? Did you ever get told off? A better way of putting that would be like, did you get any criticism from him?
No, nothing. I can't remember him like shouting. He was sometimes, if we lost the game or we didn't perform after the game, obviously he would be really loud and not nasty, but I go back to saying that he was demanding a lot and he was always giving everything himself. So he was expecting us to do the same. And losing a game, that's fine. You lose games. But if we felt that not every single one of us gave everything on the pitch, then he could be loud and give us I don't know what the word is, but like being a bit nasty. And but not personally to me, I can't remember any single situation that he would have been nasty to me.
Yeah. That's because you didn't make many mistakes, mate. That's all.
That's what
I made mistakes, just like everybody.
You mentioned you're obviously a Finland international, but not a lot of people believe that. Talking about a particular moment on TalkSport when a fan...
I know what's coming.
Yeah, we have to talk about it because it's one of my favourite moments that a particular Scottish fan wanted you to play for the national team and couldn't understand why you hadn't made it into the squad. And it's one of those... Have you heard it, Matt?
It is amazing. TalkSport play it back regularly.
It's just stunning.
The most iconic phone call in TalkSport history.
It's
outraged.
all
about Antti.
Yeah, but he plays for Hearts, so why can't he be... Why is he not in the national team? What are your recollections of that moment, Antti, when you may have heard it?
I didn't hear it live, but obviously next day people were talking about it, like the guys, the other players in Scotland and all that. But it does it comes up like once or twice a year. I suddenly get like 50 WhatsApp messages saying, "Hello, have you heard this? Have you heard this?" I'm like, "Yes," like millions of times.
Well, Antti, why don't we play it so that you can see if you get another 50 messages come through? Let's remind everyone of what happened.
Yep. Just don't know why for at least 3 seasons he's been ignoring Antti Niemi. Antti Niemi.
Aye. I don't know why he doesn't get a game.
For Scotland.
Aye.
He's from Finland.
He's what?
He's Finnish, isn't he?
He's not finished. He's only 28.
No, not finished. He's from Finland.
What do you mean?
That's where his nationality is Finnish. He's from Finland.
He's not Scottish?
No.
Oh, I thought he was Scottish.
I can't believe he didn't realise Antti Niemi was, it's not really a traditional Scottish name, is it?
Yeah. It's not that Scottish sounding. But that's how much you were held in high regard then, surely, Antti?
Yeah, I fully enjoyed my time with Hearts. I was a big part of the team and playing well, so I love it.
Antti, I'm curious to know though, is it right, I heard somewhere that you actually spoke to the guy that called in to TalkSport, is that right?
That's correct, yeah. I was in Edinburgh. Hearts invited me into one of their games a few years back. So I was kind of like I think it was kind of like a VIP or fans lounge or something like before the game. And then a guy comes up to me and, I've heard this conversation like millions of times. I'm like, oh, here we go again. He was like, have you heard about that phone call? I was like, yes, I have. And he said he was actually his very good friend who made that phone call. And if you want to speak to him, that would be great. And then without waiting, he started dialing the number. And I recognized the voice, obviously, because I heard that phone call millions of times. So it was like an awkward moment. And he was so sorry. He was like, Antti, I don't know how to say this, it started as a joke. I'd never believed that the host would buy into it. That I had a few beers and then the host kept going and I thought, I can't say this is a joke anymore. So I played along and I was like, listen, we're good. That makes good comedy, no worries. But he was so sorry. He never thought that the host would buy.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
That is amazing. There we go. Put it to bed. There you go. Great story. We never have to talk about it again now, Antti, so don't worry.
Thank you.
So we do have to address one thing on this programme, Antti.
Are you going to you're not going to do it, are you, Matt?
I'm afraid I have to.
Okay.
In 2009...
Don't do it, Matt. I don't want it because I love the memories of Antti Niemi and he's in my starting 11.
But he signed for Portsmouth.
Well, I wasn't going to bring it up.
I mean, what happened there?
Come on,
Antti, come on, what happened? Talk us through that. How old were you? You must have been really old.
Had you bumped your head?
Something
happened.
2000 and, what did you say?
9.
2000 and, yeah, so I was 37, yeah?
Yeah, that's old.
Yeah, I finished my career with Fulham, obviously, because of, I lost my place and I had injuries, I had a wrist surgery and all that. So that was me done, 10 months earlier, before I went to Pompey. I blame David Coles, so you can call him as well if you want.
Colesy, yeah.
Colesy was my goalkeeping coach at Southampton and we got on really well. We became friends. We still keep in touch every now and then and call each other and send out texts and all that. And we had great times together and I regard him as a friend as well as a brilliant goalkeeping coach. And he went to Pompey with, I can't remember who was the manager, but anyway, he was working for Pompey. I stopped playing football. I was on my summer holiday and he calls me that, listen, are you fit? And I was looking at my wrist and my Achilles. I was like, yeah, I'm physically okay. Would you come to England and do a job for me? And I was like, David, I haven't trained. I haven't been in goals for 10 months. What do you think? No, you still got a couple of weeks and you'll be back to your old best. I'm like, Jesus, I'm 37. And the thing is, obviously they had David James as a number 1. And he was doing really well at the time. He was maybe the best goalkeeper in the league. And then they had Jamie Ashdown and Asmi Begovic as a, second, third choice keepers. But those two, Jamie and Asmi, they wanted to go on loan somewhere, obviously, because David James was playing every single game that he could and he was in good form. And then he said, come to Portsmouth. I have to say, because the history with Southampton, it felt a bit awkward. If it was anybody else than David Coles who called me, I would have been thank you for the offer, but I can't. But he was basically asking for my help. They needed someone experienced to be number 2. But how it turned out, obviously I got in my first reserve games, I got an injury on my elbow, and then I had my knee problems, but I played half a dozen reserve games, and I only let in 1 goal. So I was still doing okay in that role. But when the season started, Asmi and Jamie were still there. So there's like four decent senior goalkeepers at the club. So we're looking at each other and thinking, what's the point in this? Like, it didn't quite go as they planned. So, but yeah, that's what happened. So if you want to blame someone, blame David Coates, okay?
It didn't sound
passing the buck there, isn't he?
Passing the buck, and it didn't sound like there was enough grovelling there for my liking, to be honest with you.
He didn't play a first team game for them, so we could just strike that.
Yeah, I didn't play in the first game. I was
hardly
on the bench for a couple of games, because Asmi was still there and so on.
It's fine, mate. We're not taking it personally.
Yeah.
But we do want to ask you.
You might not be mad, but no, it's crushed my dreams.
We do want to ask you.
Thanks.
Yeah. We did want to ask you about your memories at Saints of playing against Portsmouth.
Mostly good. Yeah. We faced them in the FA Cup. I think we faced them in the league. Obviously, we normally got good results against them. The season we got relegated, that was a horrible game at Fratton Park, from me, from everybody else. We had players before that game, I can't remember what it finished, like 4-1 or something
4-1,
like that.
Yeah.
It was but that was the time that everybody lost their confidence, and we were struggling and couldn't win games. And I remember going into that particular game thinking that I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to do everything I can. I need to show. And that is a bad mindset going into the football game. So we were all over trying, I think. And then obviously they had a good team and we got slaughtered. And but playing against Pompey and the whole couple of days before the games, that's what sticks to my mind. It's same in Edinburgh, Hearts, Hibs, that sort of thing, Celtic, Rangers. And so I think that the fans in southern part of England, in your area, they're lucky that you have that rivalry. And as a player, they are the best games. Like, win or lose, you can look back into them and feel, good or bad or whatever. But like derby games, they are the best games that you can get involved. Ask any for professional football,
Absolutely.
you know that.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's cheered me up a little bit. Antti, talking about the passion that we will have when we play Pompey again in the South Coast. I did say we were going to keep it light and happy, so I'm not going to talk about the cup final and the disappointment of not playing. I got great memories about cup final. We'll take them then, Antti. We'll take them. What do you remember of that cup run?
The cup run was good. Like we were. To be fair, we were quite lucky with the run. Like, the draws, we missed, we didn't have to play the biggest clubs. And until in the final, we had Asa. But it's always tough, that I think we drew with Millwall at home.
Yeah.
And then we had to go back their place. And then when it's to get through. So it's a tough task to get into the cup final. Doesn't matter what the draw is like, But I remember the pre-game, press conference, there was hundreds of microphones, and it's just a massive thing. The FA Cup, it's probably the best memory I have. Even though it didn't finish, personally to me, it didn't finish that well. We'll end up losing the game, and I got substituted after 70 minutes or whatever because of the injury. So, but the whole thing, and we actually gave them a good game. I think if you ask Arsenal players that, was it easy, they would probably say no, we defended it well, and we had a couple of chances. So, and Arsenal team at the time, they were a proper team.
So good.
Yeah, and then the injury, I was ready to go into a knee surgery after the game. That was the last game of the season, obviously, and the club doctor, he gave me an injection so I could play through the pain because the knee was quite sore. And he said that if this wasn't a cup final, he would not do it. Yeah. I said, listen, you do anything you can so I can play in that game. You don't want to miss a cup final that.
No.
So,
and did you, like me, Antti? Antti, did you, like me, think that we were quite lucky to not get a player sent off very early on in that game?
Lundefang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That's how it started. And one player you don't want to get involved with the 1v1 situation is Thierry Henry, and obviously he was flying at the time. And
yeah,
I think there's a good picture somewhere, when he's holding his jersey, in desperation. But fair play to Thierry Henry. He could have gone down and get Klaus sent off.
Yeah,
but he stood on his feet and tried to finish. And I obviously made a save in that situation, but fair play to him. He could have gone down.
Yeah, absolutely.
I bet 99% of the players nowadays would go down and see it's a good chance to get a red card for the opposition player.
Yeah, well, Antti Niemi, thank you for sharing those memories with us, and it genuinely is. I was only, a little bit of banter there about Pompey. It was only a little bit of banter. You're a professional always, and I absolutely do appreciate all of your efforts when you were here at Southampton. But I feel like we should, on Early Doors, move to Game of Opinion. Should we move to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you ready for this, Antti? If you weren't familiar with the last episode, if you haven't caught up with Martin Tyler, you still can do that in your own time, Antti, not now. But all we need to know is we're going to head over to Rocket, producer Rocket, who's in the studio. He hasn't said anything to you so far, Antti, but he's here right now. Rocket, have you got the question?
Yes, I have. It's to Matt and Antti. Which was the worst stadium to visit, to play at?
Ooh, that is a good question.
In terms of atmosphere or facilities?
Ooh. Go on, Antti, you go first.
I'm immediately thinking about the places that you couldn't get a result. All the other big teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, we managed to get some points, but for some reason, Old Trafford was a really tough place for us. We never got anything from them. So I would say Man United away.
Yeah. There's a couple for me. So I never scored against Leeds in my career. So Ellen Road was a bit of a ground I wasn't particularly keen on going to. I got two brothers who support Leeds who constantly remind me of the fact that I never scored against them.
Oh, no,
they were like the only Premier League team I ever played against I never scored against, so I was gutted. But the other one for me, as a young lad, we went and played at Millwall at the old Den.
Yeah. Oh,
now, those of you who are old enough to remember going to that place, that was pretty intimidating. And I was there I think I was probably 20 or 21 and playing on the right wing. And I just remember getting so much abuse from the crowd as I was going. Like all the dockers were down the right-hand side of the pitch in the second half, and I was just getting absolute dog's abuse. I couldn't get away from it because I was playing right wing, and I was like getting hammered. And we were losing 2-1, and in the last minute of the game, we get a penalty.
Yeah.
Right, and it was the only time in my career where I actually considered missing it on purpose because I thought they're going to kill me if I score this.
It's not worth it. Brilliant.
Luckily, I came to my senses, and obviously I did score it. We drew 2-2, but it was a horrific experience. Yeah.
Did you not turn to the side?
Funny enough, no, I didn't. I didn't give him any.
Rocket also mentioned about bad facilities, Antti. What stadium stands out for you? In that, because it's a bit of mind games, isn't it? You don't make the away dressing room really nice and comfy, do you?
Top of my head, I would say, have you ever played at Dundee? Like Dundee FC, not United, but Dundee.
Yes.
I don't know what the Dundee Stadium is. It's still the same, but that was a weird place because we have to walk to the pitch like good 100 meters or something. I don't know. It reminded me more like a cricket stadium rather than a sports stadium. So I don't know what they've done over the last few years, but I don't know, for some reason, Dundee.
Yeah. I think bad facilities, I think the two of the worst that I've played, Exeter City was my first ever game for the Saints first team.
Wow.
In a pre-season friendly. And the change rooms were horrific. But we also, towards the back end of my career, we went to Rotherham and they were having some work done at the stadium, and we actually had to get changed in a porter cabin behind the stadium. And a professional football match is like, what the heck is going on here?
Games.
Oh, there you go.
Enough.
Well, thank you very much for answering. Great question, Rocket. I just want to put that out there. That is a fantastic question.
Cheers, guys.
Keep those coming.
A lot of thought goes into those.
Okay.
One job.
Yeah, there we go.
One job.
He's only got one job. We come to the end of our time with Antti Niemi.
Such a shame. I was enjoying that.
But we do have one more question though, Antti. Do you happen, it's a personal one for me.
Oh, okay.
Do you happen to know where Chris Marsden is these days? I'm trying to get him on Early Doors. Chris Marsden, do you remember him? Bald fella, he scored some incredible goals, very much like Pele sometimes for Southampton. Do you remember him? Do you know where he is?
I remember him really well because we had players like that, like what I said about earlier, like not like the best players or most expensive players, but he was like, we had, Jason Dodd, that sort of Paul Telfer, Chris Marsden, like solid, good professional, good at what they were doing. And he was a funny guy. I don't know, last I heard of him, like Was he at Cyprus or something at some point?
Yeah, I think you're
But
right.
that's all I know. I don't know where he is. It would be nice
He's
to have
disappeared.
It's a real thriller. This I want to know where he is. It's like an adventure, and we will find out where Chris Marston is. And I'm glad you didn't say anything too bad, because if he is watching the show and Antti Niemi's
But we have
digging him
got
out,
his photo.
yeah, he's got. We can compared.
We got his.
We do have his photo just here on the table.
Lovely guy.
Okay,
Lovely.
Antti Niemi, what is there left to say? An absolute pleasure having you on Early Doors. I hope you've enjoyed it. Round of applause for Antti Niemi.
Thanks, Antti, the keeper.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Pleasure. There we go. Antti Niemi, Matt.
Brilliant.
Well, that's it for our guest for today. What a special guest. And we'll be right back after this, because it's Matt's chance to redeem himself on Take It On.
You got this, Matt. You got this.
Right then, Matt Latisse, how are you feeling about taking on Latisse for episode 2 of a brand new series of Early Doors? Because last time out, it was
I
pretty
got battered,
poor.
didn't I?
It was battered,
I
I wasn't going
I
to.
had a bit of a brain fog there.
It was a
poor moment.
You slipped up a little bit.
Slipped up. But you know what? I had a good start last season.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd give him a head start this time, see how it goes.
That's very good of you.
Nice.
I think there's about 80 fans that are all going to be taking part in this quiz.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so you should be all
Fabulous.
right.
That'd be
But
nice and
today's a
even.
new
Nice and
opportunity.
even. Yeah,
New
of course.
opportunity for you. Okay, so taking on it is, you'll have a question given to you from me. You'll have 30 seconds to give me as many answers as you possibly can. I'm obviously talking now to the new followers after
Okay.
to the start of today have been messaged by their friends to get on and watch the show. So Rocket, producer Rocket, thank you very much.
Yes.
Doing a splendid job today,
Thanks,
isn't he?
mate.
Doing a splendid job.
Yeah,
Matt.
he's
Try my
done his
best
one job
today.
well.
Do you reckon Matt's going to do it today?
No.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Wow, nice confidence straight away there. You have the whistle.
I do.
Okay, that's not your time to start there, Matt.
No.
When you blow that whistle, the
Yep.
time will start, Rocket. So here we go. Matt Latisse of Southampton, legendary status. You'll have 30 seconds to name players from Southampton's 2003 FA Cup final squad. Your time starts.
Antti Niemi, Paul Jones, Chris Baird, Klaus Ludwig, Michael Svensson.
Oh, he's on
Wayne Bridge,
fire.
Chris Marsden, Anders Svensson, Matt Oakley, Jason Dodd, Brett Ormerod, James Beattie, Joe Tessam, Paul Telfer. Who else was there? 2003.
3,
Oh,
2, 1.
oh God.
Do you know what? That is top stuff, though. That's top. Left winger, French.
Oh, Fernandez.
Yeah,
Fabrice.
Fernandez. Centre back, signed from Coventry. Gordon Strachan signed.
Paul Williams.
Yeah, there you go. Never mind. Don't worry about. Hey,
It's not bad.
Don't
I think
be
I got the
hard
whole,
on
did
yourself.
I get the whole starting lineup?
I think you pretty much did, actually.
the starting lineup,
We'll get
didn't
the adjudicator who's over there, another member of the team, another Tom. Solid performance from him, always for the show. Tom, what do we say?
I actually know what it is. It was 13.
13.
Impressive.
Ooh, that is
13.
incredible. That is.
Amazing.
So he's
hard to
not
beat.
just on the whistle, he's also on the
Numbers
correct answers as well.
And the timer.
Rocket, that's legendary for that. 13. Do you think the Southampton fans of today will know the answer for that? Will they beat your score of 13, Matt?
I think they'll get close to it.
Yeah?
I mean, I'd be really impressed if they got all 15.
Okay. Well, let's find out. Here we go then. Taking on the Tiss.
Come
Can
on,
they
the
beat them?
fans!
We're taking on the Tiss. Klaus Lundekram,
Chris Baird, James Beattie,
Joe Tessam,
Svensson
Tiss.
and Svensson, Michael Svensson, yeah.
Tiss,
Antti Niemi, Paul Jones.
Marion Pahas,
Franny was on the bench for me, so he didn't play. Or he was dropped. Oh damn it! I can't think of anyone else. Wayne Bridge. Yeah.
I'm back! I should never have doubted him.
He's so happy. You are so happy.
It was nice to get off the mark early on in the season.
Well, thank you very much to the fans for taking part.
Yeah, go on,
that was
fans.
not an easy question.
Best fans in the
Maybe
world.
it was. They did well, though, but 13.
I mean, that's more in my era, do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
kind of.
Look at
I'd
you
only,
lot.
I'd only just retired, so I kind of knew.
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah, I can tell you this now. He's genuinely buzzing. I can see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
He's so happy.
I love
1-1.
winning. He's a winner. I love winning. He's a born
Season.
winner.
Thank you very much, Rocket. And to everyone watching, that brings us to the end of this week's episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with a special edition ahead of the game against that lot down the road, which you've spoken about far too much in this episode, I'll be honest with you, but we're going to do more for the next one. Matt, what are you going to be up to between now and then? Anything lined up? More football?
Plenty of golf. Go watch more football? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there you go. It's going to be awesome. Well, listen, just leaves me to say, you ready for this, Matt? I'm going to count to 3 on this one. Everybody ready? Thank you so much for watching. And in the meantime, before we see you next time, up the Saints!
Go on, the Saints!